Found out that our true crime series, The Tape Room, won a New York Emmy Award. Wanted to thank the organization for putting on the show tonight under such difficult circumstances. Also want to thank our news director, Byron Harmon, who allowed me to create this podcast and then turn it into a TV special. Ahmad Asghar, our assistant news director, and Matt Onimus, executive producer. This was our idea. We got it off the ground. Chris Sobel, executive producer. You helped us get it on the air. Noreen Coles, our wonderful editor. This story was about a young man named Jamal Molly Gaines. He was shot and killed inside his store in Rahway, New Jersey. It's a case that is still unsolved to this day. Have so much respect for his mother, Tina Wilson, and his sister, Divinity Gaines. You two have been through so much, and we are hoping that you will find answers and justice.
Hello, I am Stars Tina, and I want to thank you for tuning in. If you're on Facebook, if you're on LinkedIn, or our YouTube channel, today I'm going to be doing an interview with my beautiful daughter, Divinity. And as you know, if you've been following me these past few months, you know that I have a huge mission, and this mission is to donate 300 pairs of sneakers to Nigeria in honor of my son. This would have been his 10th year anniversary out of high school. It's also my birthday year. I'm turning 50 this year, so I'm super excited about that. And I just wanted to bring Divinity in so she can share her thoughts and ideas about everything. So make some noise. Give it up for beautiful Divinity. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hello. Thank you.
Where are you?
Right now, I'm at Manhattan Beach in California, Los Angeles,
Ooh,
California.
I love it. You look beautiful.
Thank you.
So share with us your thoughts. When I first said to you, I wanted to send the sneakers to Nigeria for my birthday, what did you think? Because you know, for months and years, I've been talking about our 50-30. This is your 30, my 50. What are your thoughts about what I decided for me to do for, for our birthdays?
I think it's a great idea. I believe that these shoes being sent to the school will make a huge difference in these children's lives, and it's something that they will remember for forever. I remember growing up, we really didn't have the means to get the hottest school sneakers, or like we would get our sneakers like a few weeks later before school started. And that would, for me, I remember one year, I didn't have a new book bag for school on the first day. So I faked like I went to school, but I actually turned back around and climbed through the window and stayed inside because I was embarrassed. So I believe that with these kids going into school with these things, it would just help them and just give them a little bit more confidence. And it's something that they'll remember forever.
And so you got to see some of the videos, and you actually made some of the videos from the children. The school, as you know, it's called Wanyina. It's a children's foundation, and we're close to our number. The first leg that we had was to collect 100 sneakers in Georgia. I believe we hit that number, and then we're going to Jersey. So being 10 years out of high school, can you share your favorite memory of your brother in regards to sneakers? I know you guys used to share sneakers, and was it wrestling or cheerleading? I remember someone took a pair of sneakers and had a piece of tape on it. Do you remember the story of the sneakers?
Yeah, so both my brother and I, we were the same size for a long time, so we were able to share sneakers, but then eventually his foot grew bigger than mine. And it was one year, Molly was 2 grades always younger than me, and I remember he was on the wrestling team and someone actually stole his sneakers. Well, he said he couldn't find his sneakers, he couldn't find his sneakers, he couldn't find his sneakers. So then I went to school one day and I saw somebody with his sneakers on, and I was like, you stole my brother's sneakers. Like, those are my brother's sneakers. And then long story short, the person actually confessed to stealing Molly's sneakers. We got more money. And well, we got the money, and then we ended up getting a new pair of sneakers. And the reason how I knew they were my brother's sneakers is because he really took pride in his sneakers and only wanted exclusive things. And I was like, he's like the only person that has these sneakers, so I know that they're his. But that just goes to show you like how and how of a trendsetter he was, and how much an influencer he was, and how much of a target he had on his back even from such a young age.
Now, weren't you in high school and he was in middle school at the same time? So it was like the
No,
same time?
I was in middle school and he was in elementary school.
Oh, Lord, even younger. Lord. Okay. And I never really understood the grind. I never understood his mentality. And it's funny how we both have different memories of him. Like, I say his favorite number is 7, and you say his favorite number is something else.
It's 8.
What did it's 8?
It's 8.
Okay. It's 8. So, can you share, did he always have the drive? Like, what do you remember when he first got the idea to want to get into collecting sneakers? Because all I
Yeah,
remember is him just playing sports.
yeah. I believe when YouTube dropped, that was like around maybe 2006, 2006, 2005, YouTube came out and you were able to just like watch videos. And I remember he would always be watching these videos on YouTube about sneakers and these men talking about sneakers. And I was like, what is wrong with this kid? Like, why does he keep watching YouTube videos? And then over time, I remember I went away to college. And then when I came back after my first year, he just had this whole different mindset when it came to sneakers and collecting money. And I think us just growing up in a struggle bus, you know, my mom did the best that she could. She was a single mom and she worked really hard. And I think that we saw that growing up and we just wanted to be able to provide for ourselves and not like have to stress her out. I remember there were times when this is when I was back living in California. After I did 1 year of college, I decided to drive my car to California, and my brother was sending me a message on Facebook. He's like, "Yo, it's hard over here. Mom hasn't told you, like the lights are going off and all these things." And I didn't know these things, but I think just seeing that we wanted to do better, you know, not only for our moms but for ourselves, and we just didn't want to be like, no shade, but our moms and our dads. So I think that's really what it was.
I love how you said no shade because it's true. We all just want to do better and be better. And I remember it's funny, like we get to talk, like you're all the way in California, I'm here. But what are some things that you said? Because sometimes you couldn't tell who was the older brother, who was the older sister, because you guys kind of went back and forth. Like his pride in business, like we were talking about. Um, the Molly Creed. I've been saying that lately, and one of them is have good customer service. And if you recall, one time you went to go teach class, and you just had your hair any which way. Do you remember that story? And he was yelling at you for the way you were dressing. Do you recall
Uh,
that?
No, I don't really quite remember, but I knew that he was really big on appearance and like the way that we held ourselves. And I think that came from like our great grandmother, mom. She like raised us until like we were probably about like 10 or 12 before she went to the hospital for the rest of her life. But she was really big on like our appearances and like you have to look this way when you go outside and when you come home, you take off your good clothes and you put on your outside clothes. So like we understood the difference of the two and just I Molly understood like we had a bigger purpose and we needed to represent ourselves in a certain way, especially like if we want the things, like you have to look the part to be the part. And his drive, I honestly think came from seeing my mom hustle, just wanting to do better and just knowing that he had the desire to do better. He would always say like we grind different, we shine different. All the only thing you have on me is some time difference because I was a little bit older than him. So it was just so that was like it was like healthy competition between all of us, between my mom, my brother, and myself. We would all just push each other just to do better. We were like the three musketeers. So losing him was pretty it still is really hard for us. However, we use this motivation and we know that we have him working through us. So the ways that you can help support us in this mission to send these sneakers to Africa is one, we have a GoFundMe link. I'm sure you can find it somewhere in here. You can click the GoFundMe link. The GoFundMe is really important because we need funds to send the sneakers. Yeah, we can get all the sneakers in the world, but if we don't have any money, then the sneakers can't get there. So that's really important. So the money that you're donating to the GoFundMe is strictly for the transportation of the sneakers to get there. And if we have any extra money, it will obviously go to the school. The next way you can support is obviously by donating sneakers. Remember that this sneaker drive is for children. We have been collecting more bigger sizes, which is great. But right now, what we really need is smaller sizes, size 2 to maybe size like 4.5. And then the third way you can support is we're having an event in Rahway, New Jersey on August
13th.
13th. So if you want to pop by there, buy a ticket, even if you can't go to the event, you buy a ticket because 10% of all the proceeds from those tickets will be going to the sneaker drive. So those are the three ways to support. And then the way that you can support without doing anything, without donating, without spending money is simply share this information with somebody you know. Maybe you can't help out, but somebody you know can be of great resources. So if you see something, share it. You know how they say in the New Jersey Transit, see something, say something. It's the same thing with this. If you see something, say something, and that will help us with our mission. And just know like this is bigger than us. It's bigger than you. This will really change someone's life. I've been looking at these children's photos and hearing the stories, and they don't have what we have. Like literally, water for them is like essential. That's like it made their day. Education for them is essential. Their schools are in huts. They don't have like their floors are dirt. They're just like, they need this more than you know. So we thank you in advance. We can't wait to, to fulfill our mission. And yeah.
Yes, you hit it right on the head, Divinity. And I could sit here and go through stories and stories and memories of Jamal. I know you want to get to the water really quick. Um, I need another memory. I need another funny, because I don't get to share this, with too many people. Um, I'm going to share something with you guys how giving Jamal was. It was at the time he was in the hospital. If you didn't know, he was blind in one eye, and we took him to the hospital, and we were in the waiting room, and we were hungry. We had some Chinese food, and it was French fries and chicken wings, because that's all he ever got. Do you remember the story, Dave? And he was in there, and there was this little girl, and she was hungry, and he gave the little girl his food. And I'm like, we're here hungry. And he gave it to her. Like, he was always so giving. But I always say, as nice as he was as me, like him and I were just like, whew, I can't, so many arguments and things. But he's sitting behind me. Actually, his ashes are back there. Say a little something, D. I'm gonna bring Molly over while you're talking.
I think the main thing right now is, we have to use Molly's legacy and what he stood for to help other people, because that's what we do in the world. You have to give to receive, and once energy never dies, it just transfers in different ways. So yeah, the energy never dies, it just gets transferred into different ways. So that's just really important. um yeah, it's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
important that you continue to just follow the GoFundMe story. And if you have lost a loved one, just know that it is okay to feel grief. Grief is a real thing, crying is a real thing, but you can change the narrative of your life. You can change the story. Yes, what happened to us is very traumatic, but we're not going to live in that. We're going to take what happened to us and do something bigger, because there's a bigger mission in everything. Everything has a divine purpose, a divine moment. And I know that Molly wouldn't want us to sit here and harper on, oh, when he was 12, he did this. When he was he was really about this, like, okay, this happened. How do we move forward? How do we make this bigger? Because in life, like, we were faced with obstacles since the moment that we were born, but we never like harped on it. So I think that's the main thing that I learned from this and from my brother is, yes, things happen, but how do we move forward? I remember one of his friends died. It's his 10-year anniversary of when his friend died. And when his friend died, he was very like, he was down, but he's like, I'm not going to go to the funeral. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to keep pushing harder. I'm just going to keep doing what I need to do. So I encourage all of you guys that's watching this, if you are dealing with grief, if you feel like lost in the world, just know it's okay. Continue to breathe, continue to tell your stories, talk to your loved ones about the stories, and just keep pushing, because there's a greater purpose in all of this.
Yes, yes. We're going to cut it short because we said what we had to say. As you know, we're raising sneakers to send them to Nigeria. You can go to the GoFundMe, Molly Gaines Sneaker Drive Nigeria, whether it's $5, $10, go to one of our events, share, post, reshare. Divinity, I'm hugging you. Can't wait to see you next week, girl.
Yes, please sure to follow along. Also, if you do not follow the Molly Gaines Foundation on Instagram, please follow us on Instagram so you can stay connected with all the things. Remember, we have the GoFundMe link. See something, say something, and we'll do this again soon.
Yes, and for those of you that are out there and you might know, I know this is a little extra day. Have any, how do they say, share with the police because we still don't know who the murderers are. So if you know
That's not
something,
extra. That's important. That's
okay,
important.
you're better at that than I am. If you like to share.
So Molly was murdered on August 26th, 2016, in his sneaker boutique, in which he owned, by two killers. They came in through the back door and took his life with gun violence. To this day, we still do not know who took his life. Justice needs to be served. It's very important, because these people are dangerous and they're out on the street. So if you know anything, I know it's a little scary to say something, snitches get stitches, but if you know something, come say something to me, say something to my mom, anything, because it's an important chapter in our lives to just put a stamp in this, so we can not say move on, but have the clarity that we need. Me personally, I've already forgiven the person that did this, because I know in order to heal, you have to forgive. So even though I'm forgiving the universe, I know whoever did this, it's hard for you. I understand that it's hard for us too. But you see something, you say something, and just know, if you do know something and you don't say anything, you are just as bad as the killers you're just as bad as the killer.
Thank you, Divinity. Drop the mic. We are out of here. Stay connected. Bye, guys.
Bye.